Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us this Friday. I'm Jeanelle Slade. Warnings of severe driving conditions popping up all across the state tonight. High winds and blowing and drifting snow make for slick roadways and potentially dangerous travel over this Easter weekend. Now, roads turned deadly in Rosebud County tonight. Few details have been reported, but Montana Highway Patrol tells us the crash west of Lame Deer happened around 7:30 this evening on Highway 212. Now, the call first came in as an injury crash, but soon turned fatal. Now, this crash voids a 30-day stretch of no fatals in Montana. Well, the incoming blast of snow is forcing travel authorities to urge extra caution on the roads this entire holiday weekend. As you can see, the areas marked with yellow lines and pink dots are directly in the storm's path. High winds, reduced visibility, and streets coated in snow and ice are making for risky travel across west central and northeastern Montana. Now, this map updates often, and if you're heading out, you can find it on the Montana Department of Transportation website. Q2 Chief Forecaster Bob McGuire has been tracking the storm tonight and is here to show us what's in store, Bob.
Well, Jeanelle, we've had some downsloping winds off the Bull Mountains north of Billings tonight. That inhibits rain and snowfall development. Then on the other side of the valley, when the moisture goes flowing uphill into the Pryor and the Bighorn Mountains, that enhances the snowfall development, and that's what it did. It just kind of looked like it jumped over Billings. Now, we think as the night goes on, this snow is going to kind of backfill in behind that storm and eventually push its way into the Billings area sometime by tomorrow morning, as you see here. Then eventually, by noontime, most of the snow starts to pull away from us, and the thing is just about over with for us for Saturday. The temperature-wise, well, there's the bad news. It continues to drop all the way down to 15 degrees tomorrow morning, back up to the 20s by tomorrow afternoon. So the Saturday before Easter Sunday is going to be a cold, wet, and snowy one. Jeanelle?
All right, thanks so much, Bob. For many people looking for a Montana experience this holiday weekend, they are flying into Bozeman Yellowstone International Airport. It's now recognized as one of the best airports in the country. Money Magazine looked at customer experience, on-time arrivals, and amenities, landing Bozeman at number 5 on the list. It may be no surprise then that more flights are being added to the airport. Airlines are increasing nonstop service. American Airlines will add more seats and additional flight to Dallas-Fort Worth, while United is set to add daily service to Newark and add another nonstop flight to San Francisco. Those flights will accommodate the growing population and number of visitors. New census data shows Gallatin County is the fastest growing county in the state. Teachers across the country are staging protests looking for better pay and pensions. In Kentucky, schools were closed today after hundreds of teachers refused to show up. In Arizona, thousands marched on the state capitol this week. In Oklahoma, they're threatening to walk off the job on Monday. Omar Villafranca met with a teacher who says he has to work multiple jobs to pay the bills.
The big question that usually I get asked today is, are we going to be in school on Monday? My best answer for you right now is, I don't know.
Brian Davis is a geography teacher in Bartlesville.
What did you not like about this one?
Teachers just learn to survive. I would like to eventually have a month where I don't have to look at my checking account on a daily basis.
The father of 2 is also a pitching coach.
Good side.
For $25 a session.
Thanks, sir.
When it gets tough, you just buckle down and do what needs to be done.
All the while, he's a driver for Uber, working sometimes as late as 2 a.m.
The hours that I'm putting in, I don't think I can sustain for much longer.
All sacrifices he's making to provide for his family.
That's one of the things I've worried about the most is my kids. The struggles that they've had and the time that sometimes I feel like I've missed with them.
This week, in an effort to avert a strike, Oklahoma Governor Mary Fallin agreed to give teachers a $6,000 raise. But Alicia Priest, the president of the largest teachers group in Oklahoma, says it's too little, too late.
$10,000 over 3 years was what our ask was, but more importantly, it's the funding costs for our schools.
But some educators aren't happy with the leadership of the teachers group. Oklahoma ranks 49th in the country for teachers' pay.
I talked to some teachers who are frankly disgusted with y'all in saying that you guys are part of the problem that they're in currently.
They're not members. I am.
Some of them are members.
I'm supporting what the majority of our members are wanting to do, and so that's the way we move forward.
Oklahoma teachers plan to walk out on Monday.
April 3rd, April 4th, April 5th, whenever our members say that it's time to go back to the classrooms, then that's what will happen.
I would like to get to the point where I'm not juggling so much. I knew I still wouldn't get rich, but I did think I would be able to support a family.
Thousands of teachers are expected to march on the Capitol here next week. Oklahoma City and Tulsa public schools, the state's two largest districts, have already canceled classes on Monday in anticipation of the walkout. Omar Villafranca, CBS News, Oklahoma City.
As we near the end of March and Women's History Month, we hear from the first woman president of Montana State University in Bozeman. MTN's Mackenzie Frost sits down with Waded Cruzado.
The sun shines on the campus of Montana State University. Spring break, the campus void of the typical crowd of students, but upstairs in Montana Hall, history. Waded Cruzado, the first woman president of the university.
Hopefully there will come a time when having a woman in a position of responsibility, it's not a piece of news. It's something normal.
Born and raised in Puerto Rico.
In a family where I was the first person to have an opportunity to go to college.
Waded Cruzado found herself leading MSU by way of enchantment.
All of a sudden, I went to my interview there, and imagine Puerto Rico is known as the island of enchantment. Okay. And lo and behold, I arrived to New Mexico, the land of enchantment. So I thought I was crossing the twilight zone, right?
Serving as the interim president of New Mexico State from 2008 until 2009.
Until Montana State University came calling, and the rest is history.
That was in 2010. Now the 12th president in MSU history, Cruzado became a crusader for innovation and helping others succeed.
It's not about the lonely leader just doing things by himself or herself. We are the ones who need to identify talent and to tell people, I know you can do this. Or sometimes you need to say, I need your help. And that's when it happens. That's when the magic happens.
Over the last decade, MSU reached unprecedented levels of success, setting enrollment records with almost 15,500 students for spring 2018, which is up from 12,000 in 2010 when Cruzado assumed the presidency, and expanding student opportunities. In 2011, the university secured the largest private donation in the history of the Montana University system, $25 million from alumnus Jake Jabs to the College of Business.
Will fundamentally change the experience of generations of students in our business program.
Then, the university doubled that donation record when another alumnus, Norm Asbjornson, donated $50 million for the College of Engineering.
An innovative laboratory and classroom facility that will empower our students and faculty in collaborative, hands-on learning and leadership.
Cruzado says the growth and fundraising is all part of her vision.
But to be in class and in the lab and in the field, learning from the successes and the mistakes of our faculty and researchers, so that they learn by doing, so that they learn that sometimes you fail, and then it's important for you to be resilient and to come back.
Resiliency, a theme Cruzado wants every woman to embrace.
Accept the fact that you have talents.
From being the first-generation college student to earning her PhD, now serving as president of university, Cruzado never thought she would be sitting where she is now. But the significance of her position has not been lost.
And when I saw the faces of young girls or young women, right, telling me how important it was for them that there was a woman in that position, then it dawned on me, right, that it was that I needed to do it in a very special way, so that they feel proud, but that they also feel that this is something that women normally do.
In Bozeman, Mackenzie Frost, MTN News.
All right, thanks so much, Mackenzie. For a man who says he was nervous about moving from Livingston to Montana, Father Wayne Pittard of St. Pius Church has become a Billings and Easter staple. But after 6 years in the Magic City and 35 years leading Mass across Montana, Father Wayne is ready to let someone else take the reins. He now considers Billings and Pius his home, but it wasn't exactly his choice to come to the parish. Let's just say it required some divine intervention.
There's a sense of this is almost where my vocation started, visiting with Father Tom McIntyre, who then connected me with the vocation director, who was Father Steve Tokarski, who was the pastor here before I came, and a good friend, and literally looked me and says, "You have to come to Pius." And I said, "Oh, Steve, that can't work. You know, we'll just wait. I have other plans." And so it reminded me very much of, you want to make God laugh? Let him know your plans, because sometimes my plans are not necessarily God's plans. So God says, yeah, that sounds nice, but you're going to Pius.
And Father Wayne tells us he still plans to be active in the church, but he's also looking forward to vacation. His last service will be in June. Well, if Easter egg hunts are your top priority this weekend, take a look. Events are scheduled throughout Saturday all across town. At MSUB, they celebrate almost 30 years of egg hunting on campus. The MSUB Community Egg Hunt kicks off at 10:30 a.m. at the school's Peaks to Plains Park. And here's a look at some of the other Saturday egg hunts around town. Shields will host its hunt from 9 to 11 a.m. Shiloh United Methodist at 10 a.m. The Rock Church in Laurel will kick off at 11. Emmanuel Baptist Church will host its hunt at Lewis and Clark Middle School. That's from 11 to 1 on Saturday. And finally, the Southside Neighborhood Task Force will host its annual Easter egg hunt at South Park. That starts at noon. Coming up on tonight's 10 o'clock news, they may not be DeLoreans, but these cars might just take you back to the future. We head to New York next. Plus, later, it's a Final Four that one nun has been praying for since 1963. And in sports, former Fairfield star Jill Barta talks to us about her decision to go pro and how she'll be happy even if it doesn't work out.
You're watching MTN News with Jay Cohn and Jeanelle Slade. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Green. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.